Gonna talk about freedom. I'm gonna have an interaction where you guys can hop on a little later on today. All boxing talk and all entertainment is suspended for the moment. And this, what happened yesterday, was so serious and needs to be treated as such that I'll suspended all conversations on all kinds of different things, uh, and decided to talk about this issue. I'll go outside for a minute. It's monumentally serious what happened in the Capitol yesterday. It's a very, very serious thing. Tremendous crime was committed on American soil, and it has international implications. And it's not just that the world has watched this, but now the world and each one and every one of you should be very vocal in demanding that one, the sitting president at present be removed from his office, and two, that all the domestic terrorists and perpetrators of insurrection that happened, and including their accomplices, whether they were police officers or whether they were people in the president's order, people he has appointed who has restricted certain protective measures from being put in place from the top down, including the representatives who were inside of the Senate or Congress, who weren't condoning the actions, but at least speaking and trumping up false accusations about the election. All of these people who were promoting disinformation must be held accountable. All the senators and congressmen who committed political suicide by stating lies to the Senate and Congress should be removed from office for perpetrating lies and for exciting this insurrection. Whether they are young congressional people or old senatorial people, they must be removed from office. Two, the President of the United States is either going to be impeached immediately or he shall be removed from office through the application of the 25th Amendment, but he must be removed from office. Three, all parties that were engaged in the insurrection, that is, into the coup against the democratic process of Congress, as well as the democratic process of the Senate, should be removed immediately from office. Okay? Now, with respect to all of the trumped up charges that were administered in the Senate and Congress, representatives of Pennsylvania had debunked those charges categorically. We have not gotten representation from Arizona. I don't know, that they may have been able to reply as well and debunk those things, but everything was done in a legal and judicial manner for this elections. As such, these trumped up charges that happened, whether in Arizona or in Pennsylvania or Wisconsin or in Michigan, all of these allegations, which did not fly in a court of law or in courts of law, they have been, they were not allowed to fly in the courts of law, and therefore, if the courts of law did not agree with, dismissed these charges and allegations, then it is only fitting that these people who came back with these same charges and allegations into a arena which was not fitting for that, they could have always had their investigations after the fact. These people also must lose their office. The first thing that needs to be passed after impeachment is stimulus checks. The American people must be given these stimulus checks as soon as possible, all measures put in place to assist the American people in movement forward. As for the virus, the coronavirus, I give you guys once again the solution to the problem. The solution to the problem for the coronavirus is it depends on how early you are in having the virus, but okay. Lime, lemon, anti-inflammatory, turmeric, get yourself some ginger, get yourself a little bit of salt, a little bit of baking soda if you want. You can use it with the lemon. And in addition to that, ginger and garlic. This is all you need, plus a little bit of sunlight. Vitamin D has been proven to also help with the process of dealing with the coronavirus. But you can always have a good multivitamin that will help. I use also, because it's about a robust, strong immune system. My immune system is not very strong today because I didn't get much sleep last night. I was up all the night watching these proceedings. Get this selenium. You can also use some black seed oil. That's about good enough. And be careful with your diet. Try to eat more raw, uncooked things. Or if you're going to cook basic. Keep it simple. All right? The coronavirus is curable. Your body can cure you. The most important thing is if you are at a point where you cannot breathe, then you must take the same things I said. Now, I understand a lot of you guys want to go to the hospital for this thing, but some of you guys might be better off just staying home and treating it yourself. You take a pot, fill it with water, get some steam going, and you put your lemon, you squeeze your lemon in there, as much lemon or lime as you can. Shred up some garlic in there. There's powdered garlic. You can get that from the store. Put in your ginger in there. You can grate up your ginger, or you can get the powdered form of ginger. And a little bit of turmeric. And some salt. Or baking soda. And now you let those fumes, you put your head over the pot and you inhale those fumes. I want you guys' lives to be saved. That's called nebulization. It's to open up your lungs so you can breathe. You won't have a glucocorticoid steroid, like, for example, beta-dexazone. You won't have that to be able to open up your lungs. So this is the nebulization you will use. You keep your head over it as much as you can. The steam is going to probably burn you, so you're going to keep your head over it. Probably remove your head a little bit. Put your head back over there. It'll clear out your air passages. You'll be able to breathe quite well. After that, get some olive oil. So people, this is what you need to do. Go to the store. Make sure you get your olive oil. Make sure you get the ingredients I just said. Okay? What are they? The ingredients are lemon, garlic, ginger, turmeric. Okay? And you get a little bit of baking soda and make sure you have some salt home. One or the other is okay. Salt or baking soda. Now, if you're nebulized, that is to say, you've inhaled these ingredients, they are all anti-inflammatory, so they prevent you from, they open up your lungs. You're inhaling them. Now, after you've inhaled them, now you could also use the skin of the lemon as well as the skin of an orange or a lime. Okay, the skin is an aromatic compound, which again assists in boosting your immune system. The key here is every 5 to 15 minutes now, you take a spoonful of olive oil with lemon in it, turmeric, garlic in it. So you make your mixture, you make your little mix, lemon, garlic, turmeric. You can add a little bit of sugar to it, or you can add a little bit of salt or baking soda to it. It'll fizz and foam, and you take that in. That way you're boosting up your immune system. If outside has some sunlight, It doesn't matter if it's extremely cold, layer up and get out there in the sun. If you so happen to have it to the extreme extent of where you have blood clots inside of you, you'll have to continue to move around and continue to treat yourself with this stuff. So it depends on what level of difficulty you're in. Since you can't infuse yourself with vitamins, you get a very strong multivitamin and you take a multivitamin tablet maybe twice a day or double up your dose. So the key here is boost your immune system. Boost it, boost it, boost it, boost it. That's the only way to solve this virus. So once you get the virus, the key thing here is boosting your immune system. Depending on how far you are, if you got blood clots, if you got you can't breathe, you've got to now deal with that. The blood clot situation will mean you have to keep active on the move so that your blood will not clump and kill you. And with respect to breathing, all you do is you put your head down, nebulize yourself, get somebody to make that mixture really quick and nebulize you so you don't have to go to the doctor, which means you don't have to pay doctor bills. And on top of that, you can handle the issue at home. They have not taught you to handle this issue on your own. In my country, there are people who have gotten this disease and they've handled it. I have not so far gotten the disease because, one, I'm taking the necessary precautions, and two, because you can boost your immune system as well so that your immune system is prepared for it. So I may be even asymptomatic, and some other people around me may be asymptomatic because they have boosted themselves. So we may have the coronavirus, but there are no symptoms because our bodies are strong enough to have fought it off. Okay. The other very important thing for all of you out there is you must drink water. Drink as much water as you can. The more hydrated you are, the less likely you are to suffer from severe effects of any kind of disease. Particularly, I would remind you, if you're going to drink water and so on and stay properly hydrated, it prevents you, from the most important thing which causes infections in the first place, acid reflux. When your body refluxes stuff, water, fluids, whatever, when it refluxes it, it causes you to get sores up in your throat, and that's where the infection happens. Okay? So all of this just to tell people the naturopathic methods, they are proven. I believe in God, even though a lot of people say that dogma is kind of crazy. I believe in God, and I believe that God's way is the best way. And I always believe prevention is better than cure. So I'm giving you guys again the recipe over and over again. I repeat it over and over. I had a good friend, Josh Azalbarian, and he had it, and his whole family had the COVID, and they didn't have to go to the hospital because they took the necessary measures to ensure that their immune systems were improved. He still got it. He still got it pretty bad. But he came out of it pretty good, and they were able to self-medicate themselves at home without having to go to the hospitals, because he lives in Los Angeles, California, and the hospitals are overrun with a lot of people who right now need medical care. And I wish a lot of these people knew that there were methods so that they could stay home and treat themselves. Now, the best possible solution to getting treated for COVID, the most ideal situation, especially for the really bad cases, is when a COVID patient, if you get them nebulized, because the key is to get them nebulized, make sure they can breathe, get them some oxygen, nebulize them with, in this case, they use glucocorticoid steroids. So they'll use betamidazole, dexamethasone, that kind of stuff. So they hit you with the glucocorticoid. That opens up your lungs. In the meantime, intravenously, they can pump immune boosters, or they can give you immune boosters. There are different kinds of immune boosters. There's vitamin K. There's also multivitamins that they can intravenously put into your system. Very much like what boxers get. You get a saline solution with multivitamins in it, and that will rapidly, in fact, even a healthy person getting multivitamins in those amounts will rapidly have an improvement in health and energy. So I just want to say, because see, multivitamins are used by the enzymes and coenzymes to really metabolize processes. And when, especially when you're dealing with your immune system, which is a very robust, very quick, dynamic system, just boost of vitamins and multivitamins, even minerals, gives a big boost to your immune system. So try to eat as much greens as you can and vegetables. Use more vegetables than try to use more vegetables than food. Okay, try to stay away from saturated oils and non-natural oils, and a lot of you will be okay. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys these tips concerning the coronavirus. The next thing, help is on the way when it comes to direct payments. Some of you guys are going to get $2,000 in direct payments. Maybe the household will get much more than that, and some of you will be able to pay your rent a bit and hold off for a minute, and then the next thing is stabilization of the workforce, where people get incentives, and small businesses and businesses in general get incentives so people can go to work. Um, so people need to weather this storm a little bit more. Some people, they don't know if they can make it another day. All the food banks and all the craziness that's happened because of this pandemic, but you guys can make it through it. I'm counting on you guys to do it. Globally and worldwide, those of us who have the benefit of having some funds, we could send it to, for example, feedamerica.org is a great place. Send some of your money towards to assist fellow people who may be suffering. As well, you can also send monies to your own countries and to other people in your own countries to assist them. Those of you who have, please help those who do not have. This is a time where we need we need each other, and we need to come together to help each other. The acts that we saw in Washington, D.C. definitely do not reflect what America truly is about. I do not believe that the average citizen to their core is somebody who wishes evil on their fellow man. And I really don't believe that the average American is a racist. I don't believe that either. And while there have been institutions which support racism, and while there is still a tremendous amount of inequality when it comes to how people are treated, and unjustness and unfairness, I would say the system of democracy is the best system out there as far as I can see. I don't see a system better than democracy at present. And we all profit from it, and we're all free to say what we want to say. Right now on social media, here I am, a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, and I am able to go and state my views about whatever the hell I want to talk about on social media, once it's in keeping with keeping away from violence, and once I am not infringing on other people's rights and freedoms. So this is something that's a blessing, and it's not something to be taken for granted. People, the freedom of speech, we still have that. The freedom to move wherever we want, to some degree, we have that. And so we should really look at these things as blessings, because they could easily be taken away from us. And we must protect and guard against these things as long as we possibly can. And because once an empire starts, or a oligarchy, it's over. It's over. And you have to pick one side or the other. You might be part of a rebellion or something against it, but it's over. So this is a blessed time. I'm fortunate enough to be around in this time. For how much longer, I do not know. But what I can tell you is that the democratic process, and to see these people brainwashed and following the cult of this dictator and this evil man, is about time now that the axe is put down. Remove that guy from office, and remove him now. Don't wait. He can invoke martial law. He can do something. He can do much more heinous things. So get him out of office. And as he gets his foot out of office, you need to try him immediately. And he will not leave office peacefully. This is clear. He can say all what he wants to say. He's not going to leave office peacefully. So And once he leaves office, he's not going to stay in the background. Just like Adolf Hitler, he's going to keep on trying at that office, and he's going to keep on trying to build a nation of perfect people, what he thinks is perfect people, with these hooligans and his mob-like people. Okay, so we see this for what it is. All these people are about is some of the nastiest and vilest things I've ever seen, and their nastiness and their actions is not what America is about. America in 9/11 showed how much people band together. The New Orleans disasters, all the other disasters, where we've seen Americans show their support and pour out and help, donate. And we know that America is a lot better than that. And America is not a consciously racist country, even though a lot of racist rules and a lot of racist systems have been put in place to hurt people who are not white. But having said that, it's not something bad to be a white person in America. There's no evil in being white. I've seen many good white people out here. But what I would say to a lot of people who have not experienced, because you have always benefited to some degree from white privilege, I say to them, open your eyes. Because guess what? Those people in power, they still don't care about you. They see themselves as better than you. But the people with the burden for the people who hold that responsibility and burden upon themselves to to walk in a certain way and talk in a certain way, um, it is very important that as leaders you continue to bear that responsibility, the burden of carrying all these people on your back. I want to say something about Nancy Pelosi. I really appreciate. Nancy Pelosi is a person who is, I noticed, old school. She, as much as people want to condemn her and criticize her, she doesn't look left or right. She does what she believes is right, and I think that is something that is beautiful. And I noticed that she's not really confrontational when she doesn't have to be, and that's a great arbitrator. So I just wanted to say that about her. Mike Pence also showed great reserve and decorum and character, I thought, in the Senate as he presided, even though he allowed different people to sort of debate on the floor, which was unnecessary. It was a very good thing for all the American people to see what the issues really were. And I really appreciated the fact that the grounds under which certain accusations against certain states was waged were debunked by the very members of those given states, showing that it was actually Republicans who had drafted up a lot of these amendments and rules, and they tried to lie and say that it was the Democrats that did it. So I'm very happy about that. But like I said, we must never forget what has happened. We must mark the people who caused these insurrections, and they must lose their office. And not only must they lose their office, they must be monitored. They must be followed by the FBI, the CIA, because even out of office, these people can still wage war against the American public and the American people. They can attack the president of the United States after he has come across into office, as Joe Biden. There can be acts of terror, violent acts of terror following this. I do not understand why the people were allowed to just create domestic terror and then leave without any consequence. And I hope that there's a follow-up to this and all these people are brought to justice. And there's nothing funny about what happened on the Capitol state, and the people who are threatening and so on, they need to be identified. The FBI has dropped the ball on a number of issues, and law enforcement on a number of issues and critical things, which is why we had the explosion down in Tennessee, I believe it was, or Mississippi, I can't remember which one. and they can't afford to drop the ball now. And what's amazing to me is they don't drop the ball when it comes to the police officer that killed George Floyd in public. In fact, this guy, I haven't heard anything about him being charged. Okay, and I think he's off on bail in another state. So the coward gets to get protected. No, no, no. We don't have it like that. He's a criminal and he must be prosecuted. And people must insist on this, and they must have a follow-up on this, and they must continue to relentlessly pressure the authorities and the people in charge and responsible about these issues. These officers must not be allowed to get off the foot. Corrupt officers must be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, and so that law-abiding officers should be commended, and rogue officers who have gone against the law should be condemned. And this is way how true justice can be implemented in society. The way how things used to go, things about to change. So that's what I got. I'm what you need. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.